Hi everyone, this is Rita Holmes, independent demonstrator with Stampin Up, and I'm here to bring you another video today. I'm actually going to be bringing you a fun fold that I did not come up with myself. Of course, like almost every video that you see out here in YouTube land, someone has done it before someone else. And if you look long enough, you'll find another version of it. But I did find this. I was looking on YouTube just trying to get inspiration, and I saw a video by Cindy Brumbaugh. I want to give her credit for this fun fold that I'm doing. And I just did it with a different stamp set, you know, my little bit of take onto it and so I hope you enjoy it. But before that, I want to remind you that, of course, I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator independently. And if you don't have a demonstrator, I'd love to be that demonstrator for you. And if you would like to be a demonstrator, something you think you might like to do, either as a hobby, just because you buy a lot of stuff and you would like to get the discount, maybe like to start a little business on the side or whatever, I would love to talk to you about that. So please let me know if I can help you in either of those ways. And also, I want to remind you that the last chance sale will end May 1st, which is not very far off. And you'll want to get the stuff that maybe won't be in the new catalog. And, you know, get that before it's gone, because once it's gone, unless they put it on the clearance rack at some point in time. Do not forget to look at the online exclusives that we have online. There's a lot of stuff on there, and I imagine more will be going on after the new catalog comes out, which will go live May 2nd. So I want you to know all of that. Now I am going to make sure that my computer has my video on so I can try to stay in focus with you guys as I am doing it. So I'm looking over at my computer so I can just pop that up. And whoops, the sound came on. Let's turn the sound off. There we go. So now we've got that ready. I forgot I had turned the sound on a minute ago. So now I'm going to turn my phone down. So if you do get a little seasick and stuff, just close your eyes, okay? So here we go. Let me turn the camera and then just flip you down. And there we go. There is our card. Let me remind you that I do have a Facebook group called Stamp Crazy VIP, and at that Facebook group, I offer PDFs for all of my cards. Here's the PDF that I made for this card. And you can go over there and get it in the files. You'll see that this video is named Triangle Flat Fun Fold Card number 40. The 40 means that since I've been doing videos, this is my 40th fun fold card that I have done. But anyway, or at least since I've been keeping track of them. And so the file over there would be called the same thing, Triangle Flat Fun Fold Card 40. So that way it's easy to find. It's also, if you join, it's right there. As soon as when I do my video, I have the PDF scheduled so that while I'm videoing, it comes up as a link onto the Facebook group. So it's easy to snag right then and there. So I want to let all of you know that you can go over there and you can do that. So here's our card. This is how it opens. Really a nice card. And I did it pretty much verbatim. I used different papers, different stamps, that kind of stuff. But I like how she did it. And so I did it like she did. So I am going to show you exactly how I did it and what I started off with. We're going to use a little bit different colors today, just to kind of snazz it up a little bit, I guess, if lack of any other words. I'm using Petal Pink, and it is cut 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have left it flat because I got to make 3 little markings on here to get my triangle. So I'm going to get my ruler out and I'm going to line it up with my card. I'm going to take a pencil and I am going to mark it at half, which would be 2 3/4, which is right here. So I'm going to do a little line right there. I'm going to move my ruler over, and I'm going to come in at 2 3/4 right here and make another line. Then I'll move my ruler here and do 2 3/4 and make a line. And hopefully these 2 lines kind of add up together. If I get them straight, there we go. That one I got just a tad higher, so I'm going to move it down. So I know which mark I'm using. I'm going to erase that one. Okay, there we go. You can also, if you've already made a card and you have these little templates then from the first one, you could just take and put this on here and mark each line and keep it a little template instead of getting a ruler out. So there you go. Whoops, knocked over my pencils and everything. Well, the case, not the whole thing, didn't go spewing. Here is also my host code and my online store if you would like to order any of the products that you see that I'm using. The only thing that I'm using right now that will be going out is this paper, which is called Petal Park, Regency Park. 6x6, and it will be leaving us, and it has a ton of nice papers in it that go with or complement with the Petal Park stamp set, which is right here. So I think my camera kind of fell down a little bit, didn't it? Woohoo! That's okay. Let me show you what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to line up my little tick marks, which is right here, and then right here I'm going to put them into the groove, the cutting groove. I'm going to shut that, and then I'm just going to cut that off. I'll have a lot of little templates to go with pretty soon. And then I'm going to line this one up the same way. Oops. So I have my templates there that I can use when and if I want to. I'm going to bring in a white eraser. I like to use white. And I'm going to erase my little pencil lines so that we don't see them. And now I can go ahead and I can fold my card base. So I'm just going to take it, fold it over, and on my score line, I'm just going to give it a good score. I think that's a piece of glue that got on there. Old glue, maybe. Yep. Can always tell when that comes off really easy. So there we have our card folded now. If you can see that. See how that folds? And you can see where I cut it on. If you have a little edge, like when you use the paper trimmer, just take your bone folder, or in my case, take your pot scrubber, and just, that will all smooth out and you won't be able to tell where you use that cutting blade. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a 3.5 inch square piece of the DSP that I just showed you. I'm going to bring the paper trimmer back in, and I'm going to line up my corner to corner. Now if you have a piece of DSP that is directional, you might want to be careful of how you cut that. So there we go. We're going to have one of these, and then this will go right here. And then I'm going to take this one. Let me pull my paper trimmer in so you can see it just a little bit more. I'm going to line this up the long edge at the top of my paper trimmer with the point into the cutting groove. And then what I'm going to do, and I don't start, especially with DSP, I like to start that in the center of my paper so that I don't catch the ends and curl them or make them kind of jagged. So now I have two other triangles. So that's easy, easy, easy. Now we've cut this piece of cardstock. It goes on the inside, and it's with the, I'm going to say Whisper White. It's basic white. It's cut 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. It'll give us a little bit wider border around here. But when we put these on, it will make sure that we've got this covered to where none of the white shows. Okay? So I am going to go ahead and glue these two pieces onto my white that goes on the inside. I think my bottle's starting to get a little empty on me. Hopefully it'll last through this video. Of course, we're going to be using a lot of glue at my house today. We're going to make some favors for Mother's Day for church. I have a few ladies coming over to do that. It's going to be fun. It's going to be nice to have help in making all of that. I'll appreciate that, especially since I'm not even going to be around for Mother's Day, because my husband and I will be on a little vacation. And we're going to come home on the Monday after Mother's Day, which will be the first Mother's Day that I have not been with my kids. And I kind of hate that, but my kids are, of course, older. They're not like they're little. They're 47 and 48. And it'll be my first Mother's Day away from them. Okay, this will go in here. I'm going to go ahead and adhere that in there, making sure that, you know, I don't have any white. I'm going to make sure my edges are the same, or relatively, let me say, the same, going all the way around. So we got our glue on there, so let's put this down. The green glue, the Tombow green glue, gives you a little bit of wiggle room to be able to kind of make sure you get all that down right. So there we have that, how it closes. Now what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to, for convenience, I'm sitting in that block right there. It really holds that down nice, because I am going to glue this right here. Now I got that little edge there where I cut that, and I don't want that to show, so I am just going to smooth it out. And go ahead and put this down. And I want to leave my borders the same as is around here to make it look really uniform as far as my card goes. And that should be pretty good. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I got a piece that's 1 1/4 inch by 5 1/8. And the reason being, because this is 5 1/8, I want this 5 1/8. So when I put it up here, it lines up with this. So let's put this on. Don't have that edge on there. So I even store this upside down when I set it off to the side. I have a little stamp thing that I can set that in upside down, and it's still. Whoa, stuck to my finger. Okay, let's put this down, and we're gonna try to have our even borders again. And there we go. We have all of our paper onto our card now. And the only thing we have to do is our stamping. We are going to put a piece of ribbon in. I cut this. This is denim ribbon that I cut about 16 inches long. And it is going to go right here across, right at the top of where that triangle stops and the top of our card starts, where it gets straight again. I just line it up right there. And I'm just going to be easy and tie a knot. Because why not? Why not tie a knot? Right? When a knot is so much easier than a bow when you can get it past your fat fingers. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim that off some. Well, didn't get my angle enough for what I wanted with it. So there we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a glue dot and I'm going to stick it right in under my knot. Get the little threads off of there. I don't want to be sticking the threads down, so I'm just going to take and I'm going to stick that right in under where that knot is, and I'm going to lay the knot on top of it. Now, I don't have to do that to, this piece is still longer. Dang, dang, dang. Drives me crazy. Okay. So this piece right here, we're not going to have to really worry about, because what we are going to do is we are going to take a piece and we're going to add that right here, okay? We're going to just be adding that right there, and it will kind of hold that in place, okay? So the next thing we have to do is we have to stamp. So first off, I have this little oops, I thought I dropped it. I have this little piece right here, and I am going to be using this new set called Circle Sayings, and I'm going to put the smile on here first. So we're going to take this, and it says smile. We're going to use the Night of Navy. It goes with our paper. And I'm just going to ink that up. One thing good about photopolymer stamps, you can just watch that ink cling to the words and not to the stamp if you don't press hard. Now I'm going to put that in here. I'm letting that soak into the cardstock a little bit. There we go. And then I'm going to take, I left these scissors, this long enough because I'm going to cut an angle at this today. Now my sample card, I used the set. I used a different set. I used Timeless Arrangements. Both of these sets will be in the new catalog when it comes out May 2nd. So this one has, I really appreciate you from the bottom of my heart, and it says thank you. This one's going to say smile from the bottom of my heart. No. Yeah, what's it going to say? It's not that one. It's wrong. It's going to say smile because you're awesome. Happy birthday. I thought that did not even sound right. Not remotely. I'm like, that was crazy. But, oh, I want to leave that out. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, let's go ahead and stamp all of our words. We did the smile. And we're going to do because you are awesome. And I'm going to do that at the diagonal on this. So I'm just making sure my letters are inked. And I'm going to bring that in and do because you are awesome. Just hold it there a minute and it'll get all of the... Okay, let's clean that because we got to put it up and get the next stamp out. I could have used a ton of blocks and did it that way, but I did not. I'm just using the same block. And now I'm going to put the happy birthday on the inside. And I'm going to put it up a little high so that we'll have room to write in the card. If you want to write a message, that would be good to do. Just put that a little bit higher. Gives you plenty of room to write. So we're done with that. Let's shut this before we make a mess, because that's my middle name. In case you didn't know that. My middle name is Mess. I am going to take the smile. I'm going to put 2 dimensionals on it. And then I am just going to add it right here. We'll add that right there to our edge. And look at this in the way. Thought I moved him out of the way. Get out of the way. Probably hit it. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take our because you're awesome. And I'm just going to adhere those 2 pieces of paper together. As soon as I get my glue working again. Let's go ahead and put that on the diagonal. Turn that over and we're going to put glue, and we're going to make sure we get that glue really on the outside of this because we want that to be held down, and we're going to put some in the middle so it'll adhere to that ribbon and hold it in place. And I just got ink that must have been on my table on here, but I will use a ink eraser and get it off here in a second. So that is glued on. And if you don't know what an ink eraser is, let me show you. They're a sand eraser, and I get them off Amazon. And I got a little bit of ink here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to at least lighten it up if I can't get it all the way off. There we go. That is pretty good. So we have that done. Now it's all sandy gritty. Get all that off. Shut that back up. And now we're ready to stamp our flower. And let me tell you, this is a flower. They're all 3 together. And they line up in the punch right here. You can see you stamp them this way, so when you put your paper in, they go this way. If you're unsure of yourself, where's my little, I have a little cheat sheet here somewhere. if I can, right here it is. You can make a template, and when I make a template, I make it out of colored cardstock. And then what I could do is take a scrap piece of the white. I can stick it under here. It goes like this. And then, as you can see, when I put my stamp in here, well, I had it right the first time. I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. Why isn't that lining up? Oh, I got it. That's why. Turn it over. Duh. Turn it over. There we go. This lines up right inside that because you have made a template, okay? And you could stamp in there and then pull your template off. You could even go ahead and stamp your leaf and do all that. And I can show you what I mean by that. Let's bring in, I'm going to stamp my flowers in petal pink because these are such light colored flowers. That's what I want that to be on here. So, let me bring in a scrap piece of paper in case I need it. I'm going to ink up my flowers in petal pink. Let me see how strong that is. And then how light that is. Let me go one more time. I might even want them lighter. No, I don't want them that light. I can't see them. So I'm going to stamp off. Whoops. Let me get my stuff lined up. And I'm just lined that up evenly. I'm going to hold on to it. I'm going to take my stamp. And let's see if I can line that up. So I'm going to line that up. I'm going to let that hold there a minute. I want that ink to soak in. And I'm going to pull it up. And if you can see, I've got my flowers. I can pull that up and show you. There's the flowers. Okay, now I'm going to lay that back down. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to ink it full strength. I'll do it over here just to kind of show you what I mean. I'm going to line them up. I don't think I got that lined up as well. That's because it's on. So I'm going to bring it over here. I'm going to line that up. And there's my flowers. Now, while I have this on here, I lost my leaf. I'm putting back up. Yes, I did. I'm going to take my leaf and I'm going to take the shaded spruce. And I'm not going to use the outline on him. I'm just using him full strength. Actually, I think I'm going to stamp off with him because the flowers are so light. And I'm going to stamp him in here also. And then I'm going to pull that away. So see how I have my template made now? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this in. Well, as soon as I turn it the right way, and that way I can just line all of this up, I hope. And I have my 3 flowers. And all I need now is an extra leaf. So I'm going to take my green again. And I am just going to I did it light, so I want to do it One more time. I want it off a little bit. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that, since I don't need this piece, and I'm going to line that leaf up. Of course, I'm going to have a mess come off of there, but I have my leaf. There's my other leaf. So that's how you use a template to do that, or you can stamp it just without a template. Just make sure you get your flower stamp going the same way so you can put it in your punch. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm just going to curl. I'm just giving each flower just a little bit, just so it's not completely flat. I know it'll flatten in an envelope, but even though you've curled it, it will stay a little bit, it won't be like completely straight flat after the envelope. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take some glue. I'm going to put a little dot in the center here. As soon as I get it going. Definitely going to have to open up another glue. Definitely. So I'm just going to stick that into the center of that flower. Hold it down for a second if it's not sticking. Then I'll put another dot in here. And I will stick the third flower down. And I'm going to hold that just for a second. Not long. And then I will take a dimensional and I'll just add one to the center of the back of the flower. You just need one. And then we're going to glue we'll take our flower and we'll glue right in the center. And I'm going to take my two leaves and I'm just going to add a little bit of glue down at the edge. I'll bring it in and put it in under my flower and glue to the cardstock itself. Take my bone folder and just kind of put a little pressure down there where the glue is and make sure that it adheres. And then that way you won't have to worry about it. I'm going to do the same thing over on the other side. Just go ahead and add my leaf. Then I'm going to take some jewels. I can get them out of here. There we go. And I'm going to take the Night of Navy Dark and I'm going to color 3 of them. I have 3 colored. Let's fan them a minute. Get on, make sure they're dry. I mean, that alcohol dries pretty instantly, but when I'm using this, I try to make sure that I get it really good and dry. I'm going to put one in the center of my flower. And then I'm going to take the other 2 and I'm just going to add them to my card. There we go. So that is our card. And it's a pretty little fun fold. So there you go. Bring it down here where you can see it, since my camera is low. So that is our card today. So if you want that PDF, just go on over to my Facebook group, and I will have the link to it in the description, where you can go and you can get the PDFs for all of the cards. Any of the videos I've made, let me say 98% of the videos I've made. There are a couple that don't have a tutorial. but most of them all have a PDF tutorial so that you can go over, snag that, put it in your collection for cards. That way you can go through them and get inspiration. What I do is I put my PDF in a sleeve, an 8.5 by 11 sleeve that goes in a 3-ring binder, and then I take my card and it's in that behind it like that. So I actually have the visual of a card and the PDF, and so I keep one of each. And it's a lot of cards, it's a lot of books that I have. I have like 4 or 5 big binders of just directions and cards and stuff. But flipping through that, if I look at the directions, and you know, you kind of catches your eye. And in fact, my first PDFs, I did not add pictures to, so I only had the card to look at. But I've been adding pictures for probably over a year now, so there's a lot of videos with pictures and diagrams and all of that. So they're all there, and they're all there for you to use as complimentary to my videos, and a thank you for you watching my videos. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please give me a thumbs up if you did. Share my video with your friends. Just, you know, hit the share button so somebody else that's into card making may see it. And I would appreciate that also so very much if you could do that. And I will see you again next time. Have a great day. Bye.